Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another HylianBandicoots video with just me, Ethan, another little game seminar video where I talk about games and whatnot, giving my opinion. My opinion means nothing, but I can give it because it's, I can. I'm entitled to. Obviously, you can probably tell by the game footage you're seeing, I'm going to be talking about the Battlefront trailer that was revealed yesterday on the 17th of April at 6:30 PM in Britain. I was sat there waiting, refreshing the EA Star Wars YouTube page, constantly refreshing it when it hit 6:30, and I only actually got to see it at 32 minutes past 6, so bit of a lie there from EA, but it's probably just something to do with the browser, or I don't know, but I saw it at 6:32. Now I'm going to talk about it a bit, and I'm going to play a bit of instant action on Battlefront 2. You can see here, this isn't the game that's coming out in November, this isn't the new game, this is Battlefront 2, but it's an amazing game, so why not play it in the background. I was just going to overlay the gameplay trailer, but it's only a couple of minutes, and I'm probably going to be talking for more than a couple of minutes, so, and I also want to play the game, so let's go. I'm going to go Rebels. But anyway, yeah. So I'm also, just quickly, I'm going to briefly talk about the, holy shit, briefly talk about the Force Awakens reveal trailer, the second Force Awakens trailer. Not reveal trailer, but the second teaser that they revealed for the game. Not game, fucking hell. The Force Awakens trailer, just quickly, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was awesome. Obviously the Han Solo and Chewie bit at the end was a really, really cool. And yeah, it was really good. One thing that a lot of people conspiring against is, not against, but conspiring is Brienne. I don't know the actress's name, but the woman who plays Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones is sort of, the woman who plays Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones is going to be is in the film obviously, but her part has not been revealed yet. So people think she's either going to be one of the two masked Sith people, or one of the, or the shiny silver stormtrooper. So that's cool. Another thing as well is the shot. You can see the shot where the woman on a speeder bike. I don't know any of the characters' names yet because I've not delved too deeply, because I don't want to spoil anything about the film for myself yet. But one of the characters in the film, the female character who's on a speeder bike, seen driving past a crashed Imperial Star Destroyer and an X-Wing at the start of the trailer. And obviously I and a lot of other people thought that that was Tatooine, and that's the Empire had sort of like taken base on Tatooine after the events of Return of the Jedi, but it turns out that that's actually a new planet called Jakku, so that's pretty interesting. One of my theories for the Empire was that obviously, because you've got John Boyega's character playing is a stormtrooper. We don't know whether he's going like undercover or some shit, like Luke and Han did in New Hope. But he could just be he could just be doing that, or he could literally be enlisted in the Empire, which I think would be cool if he is enlisted in the Empire and he like sort of turns good or whatever. But yeah. And if that's the case, that he's enlisted in the Empire, then obviously, he's not a clone, and obviously all the stormtroopers are clones. So maybe my theory was that the Empire sort of like, obviously they've ran out of all their armed force after Return of the Jedi, and so they've sort of taken base on Tatooine and sort of like enlisted all of like the slaves and stuff on Tatooine, or just people in Tatooine who want to like fight the rebellion, whatever. Or like maybe paired with one of Jabba's relatives, one of the Hutts, who wants revenge on Luke and that for what happened in the start of Return of the Jedi, and so they provided that sort of Empire force. But that doesn't seem to be the case if this new planet's going to be Jakku. So yeah, but yeah, I really enjoyed the trailer. I enjoyed it a lot more than I enjoyed the first one, the first trailer, because not much was revealed. But yeah, awesome, and I'm really looking forward to the film in November, and I really hope that it's not shit. although I don't think it will be shit, to be honest. And me personally, you know, I'm one of those people that actually enjoys the prequel trilogy. I know a lot of people think the prequels are shit, but I'm not going to sit here and say that the prequels are shit, because to be honest with you, whilst I do prefer the original trilogy, Return of the Jedi is my favourite. Like, I was growing, like, well, I still am young, obviously. I was obviously far too young to be growing up with the original trilogy, so I was sort of growing up with the prequel trilogy. And I'm not going to sit here and shit on the films, like, because I know a lot of people now, like, they liked the prequel trilogy growing up, because they were like, when they're like 7 and 8 or whatever, watching the prequel films in cinemas, like, it's awesome. And then, like, when they try and, you know, they feel like they can't be real Star Wars fans if they sit there going, I like the prequels. They have to, like, try and fit in with the cool kids and go, no, the prequels are shit, the original's the best. Well, yeah, the originals are the best, but you know what, fuck that. The prequels are fucking brilliant, so, well, they're not brilliant, but the prequels are good films. I enjoy them, I enjoy the action scenes in them, and I enjoy the forces and stuff like that. And, obviously I hope the new film isn't about politics, but I do have really high hopes for the film after watching this trailer. But enough about the film trailer, because this YouTube channel isn't about films, it's about games. But I just wanted to talk about the Force Awakens trailer a little bit before I went on to the game at hand. But yeah, let's talk about the Star Wars Battlefront 3. They're just calling it Star Wars Battlefront now, which is understandable because it's been about 10 years since this game came out. So it's quite fair enough for them to just call it Battlefront. The reveal trailer came, and I feel the same way that everyone else feels about this. Like, pretty disappointed, to be honest with you. Like, I saw the trailer exactly when it came out. I was hyped all day for the trailer, because this is my favourite Star Wars game. I have quite a lot of Star Wars games. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, so I've played quite a lot of the Star Wars games, and this is Battlefront 2 is my favourite Star Wars game ever. So obviously I'm hyped for this game, and I had high hopes because it's in the hands of EA, like DICE, who do Battlefield, so it's going to be improved on the like FPS ground and stuff like that. Because you can see this now, it's not aged that well. It's still a fun game. It's still a fucking really fun game to play, but third person mode is what I used to play, and I'm just playing it in first person now because I'm more used to first person on the PC. But when I was on the PS2, which is what I originally played the game on, like third person all the way. But yeah, in the hands of DICE, I had high hopes for it. Saw the trailer, and firstly, I was pretty disappointed that they didn't show any gameplay. Like, in hindsight, I don't know what the fuck I was expecting, because they've barely shown anything from the game, so I don't know why I was expecting gameplay, but for some reason I was really expecting to see gameplay, and we didn't see it. We saw in-engine footage, which, like, as I said before, the more I thought about the trailer after I'd watched it, the more I got a little bit pissed off and a little bit disappointed, because the phrase in-engine footage can mean literally fucking anything, to be honest with you. Like, you often hear games when they're originally shown look a lot better than when they get released, and this trailer isn't even trying to be gameplay. So you see gameplay that's enhanced at like E3, like vertical slices of a game that's not come out yet, but you see it like E3, and the gameplay's really been enhanced, and people complain about it when the full game comes out and it doesn't look anything like the gameplay. This is that, but fucking enhanced even more, because it's in-engine footage, so they can get away with beefing it up to shit and showing you it, and then you sit there going, oh my lord, oh, this is what the game's gonna look like, it's awesome. Because that's what I did when the trailer hit. I was like, oh my lord, this is what the game's gonna look like, it's gonna be really good. But in actual fact, it's not gonna look like that unless you've got like the fucking computer of like Bill Gates or some shit. Because in-engine footage, yeah, it's an engine, but it's not what it's going to look like on the PS4, it's not what it's going to look like on the Xbox, and it's only what it's going to look like on the PC if you've got a fucking beefcake of a PC. You know, so that sort of pissed me off, the phrase in-engine footage. But I mean, I suppose it does give you an idea of what the game's going to look like, but basically just don't get your hopes up for that being what the game fully looks like, because it's not going to look like that. And if it was going to look like that, they would have shown gameplay behind the thing. But the trailer looked awesome. It felt more like a choreographed like animation than something of a game. Like it felt like another it did just feel like a scene from like a Star Wars animation or something, or a film, and not actually the game. So I don't know. But I did enjoy the trailer. It was awesome. It felt like Star Wars, and it looked really good. Like, obviously it looked really good because they're gonna make it look really good. So, you know, but in-engine footage. And then, I was expecting gameplay. The one little snippet of gameplay that we got, well, not necessarily gameplay, but the closest thing to gameplay that we got in that trailer was there's a little shot of, I think it's an X-Wing. You see like a first-person shot of an X-Wing in the hood, and that's probably what it's going to look like when you're flying a X-Wing in first person, and that did look really, really good. So that's awesome, obviously, but you know, it got me hyped. Obviously, you see Darth Vader at the end, and it did get me hyped, and it felt a lot more like the Endor map. They said at E3 that they've like studied Endor from the films and stuff like that, and they've been to the location where it was filmed and stuff and tried to analyze it fully to get the full maps. So the maps are going to be a lot better, and it did feel a lot more Endor-like. You saw the shot of the speeder bikes in the trailer, and they were like, you know, ducking and diving in between trees, vertical and stuff, horizontal trees, sorry. And that's something you didn't see in the Endor map at all. It was just sort of like trees in places, and there wasn't really places to like dodge and stuff like that. But and then more announced news. The more news was announced about the game, the more and more like pissed off and disappointed I got, because it seems like this game is really going to be a cash cow for EA, in my opinion. It really is. I mean, this is the facts. This is what we know about the game now. So the trailer was fine. It was a good trailer. It was entertaining. It looked good. It's not what the game's going to look like when it comes out, and I want more because I want to see gameplay. That's the only reason I was disappointed, because I was kind of expecting to see gameplay, and we didn't see it. That's my own problem though, because I don't know why I was expecting gameplay, to be honest. But yeah. So the trailer was all fine and dandy, but it's really the news about the actual game itself, which is disappointing and just a pity, really. Firstly, they've announced that there's going to be no stuff from the prequel. Now, this is the least shitty thing, is they've announced there's going to be no content from the prequel trilogy. Some people, obviously a lot of people, think that's good, and at first you sit there and go, oh, that's awesome, because there's going to be no Jar Jar Binks, no politics, you know, no shitty things from the prequels that everyone hates. But and I might just feel this way because I like the prequels. But obviously I don't like that stuff about the prequels, you know. I like the cool stuff about the prequels. And this game, Battlefront, is a shooter game. It's not like Battlefront 2 had the cool elements from the prequels. It didn't have the shitty politics and shitty Gungans. Sure, there was a hunt stage in Naboo where you could play as Gungans, but there wasn't like heavily the shit things in the prequels. It was actually the cool things, like Darth Maul and Mace Windu and Geonosis. So we're missing out on, like, Mace Windu's not going to be in the game, Darth Maul's not going to be in the game, and awesome maps like Geonosis. Like, Geonosis was a big one for me because Geonosis is a fucking really good map in this game, and it's just like the droids v clones, no clones. I mean, that doesn't really matter that much because the clones were essentially stormtroopers in this game anyway, with just a slight different mask, because they have the exact same weapons and stuff. Friendly fire and a stormtrooper. yeah, it was like. So when that's announced, like they try and like appeal to the fans by going, none of the shit from the prequels, woohoo guys! But in actual fact, it's just an excuse for them to put less in the game and less cool stuff from the prequels. So that was disappointing for me, at least. Let me know if you thought that was disappointing, because I really thought it was shit, because I want Mace Windu and I want Geonosis and I want, like, I don't know, there is stuff from the prequels that's cool, like Utapau is another good map, which is not going to be in it and stuff. But, yeah, they announced that. Then they announced that there's no campaign in this game. Now, no campaign. The campaign in this game was sort of it's sort of like the story of the 501st Legion. Like you follow the clones from, you follow them from when the clones, all the way from Geonosis, the end of Attack of the Clones, all the way through to like Return of the Jedi. So you see the transition of them from clones to stormtroopers, and you have like, and it's really cool actually, the campaign. The missions, some of them can be a little bit annoying. I remember there's one of them on, I can't remember the name of the planet, but there's one of them where you have to kill the sort of like, I think it's Acklay is what the name of the creature. It's the creature from, it's like the green creature from the Attack of the Clones scene, that Obi-Wan slices its legs off with a lightsaber. That, you have to just kill those of them, and that got annoying, but overall the campaign was fun, and there's going to be no campaign in this game, so it's going to be like purely multiplayer driven. So that's pretty disappointing, because the campaign was good, but the campaign, I'm disappointed about that, and I think a lot of other people are as well, because the campaign was awesome, and it just seems like we're getting less and less from this game. But I don't know, like, yeah, there's no campaign, even though the campaign wasn't the best thing about the game, though, to be fair, it was the multiplayer, so even though that does suck, like, it's not the end of the world. But that, as I say, we're getting worse and worse with the different points that I'm making here. The next point that I'm making is there are 4 planets to start with in the game. 4 fucking planets. So there's Hoth. We saw Hoth in the trailer, and we saw Endor in the trailer. And I think we saw the other planet, which is Jakku, as I mentioned before. And let's be honest, we have to have Tatooine. Like, there has to be like a Mos Eisley map or something like that. So, let's say Hoth, Endor, Jakku, this new planet or whatever. I think there's DLC coming actually, free DLC, called the Battle of Jakku. So that might be the Jakku planet or the Jakku maps or whatever. But Endor and Hoth definitely are 2 of the 4 planets when the game launches. Obviously they're 2 of the best planets, but 4 planets, fucking hell, like that is a massive downsize from the amount of planets that we have in this game. But obviously one thing is, it doesn't mean there's 4 maps, there's going to be a multitude of different maps on the planets that'll assumably be like different set pieces from the games. And to be fair, like, some of the maps on this game aren't very accurate to the films. They just like use the aesthetics from those locations and sort of like create stuff like this bit. This isn't like a fucking part of the Death Star from Star Wars. Like, you know what it is when you see it, but it's not accurate to the film. So if it's more accurate to the film, like the Endor scene in the trailer looked a lot more accurate to Endor and Return of the Jedi. So that would be good, and there's different set pieces, there's going to be multiple maps on different planets. But 4 planets, come on now. And the thing that pisses me off about this more than... Let's use Force electricity. Okay. Let's see what else does he has choke. Like that, you little bitch. Yeah, there's more like... the reason this pisses me off, 4 planets, is because I know that that's not going to be all the planets in the game. I know there's going to be more than that, because they can't just have 4 planets, or else, like, they obviously have to have more, because there's so many cool planets in this game, and the Star Wars universe, they have to have more, and they are going to have more, but that's going to be DLC then, isn't it, if it's launching with 4 planets. And this is the first utterance of the word. No, it's not, because I mentioned the Battle of Jakku before, but DLC, motherfuckers. That's the key thing to take away from this Battlefront news, is DLC. 4 planets then, for a launch. 4 planets? which is going to amount to about 8 maps on launch, which is going to keep us occupied, yeah, it's going to keep us occupied, but when they announce a new map pack, a new DLC of new planets, new maps, for about 15-20 quid, we're all going to buy it, aren't we? And we're going to be spending a lot more money on this game than we would on a regular £40 AAA title, I can fucking tell you that. And I can also tell you that I'm willing to bet that the reason there's such a small amount of maps in this game is down to one of two things. A, they've either rushed, like, not rushed, but they've released a smaller amount of stuff because they want to make sure the game is out for November, because they obviously want it to tie in with Force Awakens, which releases in December. So they've either like just made sure they've got a nice compact package that they can release in November in time for the Force Awakens, or they want money. And I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think it's a bit of both, because I'm willing to bet, well, I don't know what I'm willing to bet. I'm willing to bet Anakin's slavery with Watto, that, or Shmi Skywalker's slavery, rather, that they have got a lot more maps and a lot more planets, at least in mind and in development at EA and DICE, and they're not releasing them because they're going, oh, we'll release these in November, but we've got stuff made, but we'll just hold that back and release it at a later date and make it DLC, make you pay more. That's not how DLC should work. The way DLC should work, if it has to be done, is you make a fucking game, you finish the game and you release the game for money, and then you start working on DLC. You don't make a game and then take parts off it and sell them later on, which I can assure you this is what feels like it's going to happen with Star Wars, and that's why I'm kind of pissed off. The reason I'm pissed off the most is because obviously you just think, well, just don't buy it if you don't want it. But I do want it, and that's what's pissing me off, because I'm going to have to pay a lot of money now. And that's why EA have got us by the balls, because they know that they can do this with Star Wars. They know that they can just release installments of map packs and new planets and new vehicles and whatever, new guns, and people are just going to have to lap it up like fucking thirsty dogs because it's Star Wars. So that is a shame, it really is. And the next point that I was going to make is, what? Oh yeah, this is the one for me. This is the sort of like the big disappointment for me is no space battles. There's no space battles in this game. Space battles were one of my favourite features of Battlefront. Like, you have pardon me, that was disgusting. I'm gonna go Rebels on this one because I sort of have to, because you just get destroyed if you don't. You really get destroyed if you go as Empire. This is a good way to show you progression, because if you look at this map here and then you look at the map, the game, and the trailer, like, it does look so much better. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying about space battles, like, space battles were a really amazing feature. Like, you could have dogfights in the planes, and you could land in each other's, like, sort of ships. And you could either destroy the enemy's, like, fleet from outside with your ships, or you could destroy it from, like, within with your like, you could just take in a marine and just kill everyone in the, like, in the landing bay and stuff like that. It was really, really awesome feature. I remember me and my brother and people used to play that feature all the time. It was really fun. And they're taking that out, like, it's one of the things you think of most when you think of Battlefront, so it is disappointing. Their response to that was they want to perfect land battles first, which is understandable, but at the same time, like, I'd be fine with them taking time to perfect both and releasing that, rather than releasing this in November, because let's be honest, they've got space battles in development. I'd rather them take the fucking time and release it next year, than then release the game in November and then turn around and go, Space Battles, July 2016 release, woohoo! And then everyone has to buy it from like 20-30 quid or whatever. And then they end up spending like £90 on Battlefront, which, you know, it's just frustrating. another thing is as well is what I think they're going to do is, because it's been released in November, I think what they're going to do is they'll release like original trilogy content in Battlefront, and then after the films come out they will announce DLC packs with content from the new film, and that will release in like January or February or whatever. That's what I think they're going to do with that, which you might to some extent is understandable because they don't want to spoil the film, but also it means more dollar, give me your money, and it's something that we should have expected from EA, but it's just fucking a kick in the gut, isn't it? But yeah, that's overall what I think about this game. This was a little bit more of a. I apologise for this video because it was a bit more like stuttery and stuff, because I'm trying to like do two things at once. I'm trying to speak about what my thoughts and vent my fucking anger, and also it's not even really anger though, it's just disappointment, because I am still really excited for the game, but I'm just sort of pissed off that they're doing this, even though it's something that like developers just do nowadays. I'm not used to this either, because like the new releases that I buy, like primarily Nintendo games, and Nintendo don't do this to the fucking customers. Like if you look at Mario Kart, is the perfect example of good DLC, because they finished the game and released it and gave it to you before they started making the DLC. Whereas EA, you just know that they've got all this shit in the pipeline. Like you just know they've got all these new maps and all these like new things to come out, but they're just waiting on it. And it's just fucking annoying. But yeah, it was a bit. This game was a bit more. This recording was a bit more like obviously spontaneous, because I'm trying to focus on the game as well. I'm doing a bit of shit, to be honest. But let me know what you think about Battlefront. But overall, just to summarise, like I'm very excited about this game. I think DICE are gonna like make the gameplay a lot nicer, a lot smoother, and it's gonna play really nicely. They've said that third person and first person is a thing. Which is amazing, because obviously I'm playing in first person now, but third person's sort of the definitive angle for this game. The only reason I'm playing in first person is because I'm on PC with a mouse and keyboard, and it like wouldn't feel right for me to be playing with a mouse and third person. But on the PS2 version, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree, like third person was like what you used. But so yeah, that's awesome that they're bringing that feature, and it is gonna feel great. It's gonna be HD. It's gonna look fucking awesome. And it's going to be great fun, but we're going to be paying a lot of money for more maps, and it's just an annoying thing, like. But with a series like Star Wars, you have to expect that the EA and all the companies want to make as much money as they possibly can from it. So yeah, I think I've spoke about pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Like, no space battles is shit. The fact that there's 8 planets is shit. I'm pretty sure they're going to release DLC themed around Episode 7 after Episode 7 comes out, and I'm also pretty sure that they have more planets in the pipeline, and they have space battles in the pipeline, and that's going to be coming out, and we're going to have to pay more money for it because it's going to be DLC. So yeah, that's about it, I am disappointed, but at the same time I'm still excited for the game. It's going to be fucking brilliant, but I just want to see some more gameplay now, and I want to see Salicious Crumb as a playable character if I can. And yeah, I don't want to be paying a lot of money, but you know, we're all going to be paying it, so that's just the sad fact of life, ladies and gentlemen. We're all going to be paying. What the fuck is that guy doing? I want to see some shit, ladies and gentlemen. Just see a little headshot. Yeah. Yeah, we're all going to be paying the money, but whatever. So yeah, that's about it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about what. Fucking hell, sorry about this, man. Let me know what you think about Battlefront and the imminent DLC, which is going to be, let's be honest, it's going to be unavoidable, and it's inevitable. It's DLC with EA. let me know what you think about the game, and let me know what you think about the film as well, because the film is going to be fucking awesome. It looks really good, really cool. And yeah, as well, like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Yeah, that's about it. I don't know whether to finish off this map or whatever. Yeah, I might as well actually, because we're about to win. I've literally just been combat rolling around and not doing anything because I'm trying to like talk and game, and I can't do both. At least not in this depth anyway. This probably won't have even recorded, I bet you. Let's go and hunt out these remaining stormtroopers and kill them. Does everyone remember in well, I just wandered off into nowhere, but that's a victory. So, yeah. I'm just gonna one more time. I've thought of a pretty good little analogy. Basically, I'm not negative about this game. I think it's gonna be awesome. But I think what they're doing is, imagine a really nice pizza that EA and DICE have cooked. It's delicious. You really want it. It's really nice. They've cooked it and it's delicious. But what they do now is, before November comes, they slice the pizza in half, and then they say that the half of the pizza is the full pizza, and they give you half of the pizza. And then what they do is, in installments throughout later periods, they give you the rest of the pizza for more money, when in actual fact you should have paid the money for the full pizza at the time. So whilst the pizza isn't delicious and amazing, you still have to pay shitloads of money for it. And that's what this game is at the end of the day. But yeah, that's all I have to say. So DL, see you later.